We good. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep. Let's start with the toast. We're going in. This is our second recording. Still tweaking with that audio, y'all. The audio will be back to normal soon. But I hope it ain't too bad. I ain't heard nobody really complain. And if you did, what can we do? Nothing we can do this yet. There's nothing we can do. Let's start with the toast. Grab the water, drink, whatever your beverage choice is, and it goes as such. We all fall, but we say don't trip. We all been called, but all stall a bit. We all stand tall until that time we slip. Just admit, without the grace of God, I'm
really bad at this.
Yes. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers. Take an actual sip. What's up, fellas?
What up?
How's everybody?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Gobble gobble.
At this point, Thanksgiving is over. Y'all should be really low key getting rid of them leftovers. At this point, leftovers shouldn't be tinkering around with them. I don't care if you care about your health. I don't think you should be tinkering around with them at this point.
Hey, them greens, man. Watch them greens. Them greens have been around since Wednesday. Them greens ain't gonna kick too much longer. Be careful. I crushed a plate today. That was the last one, though. That was it.
I don't know.
We in Cali, dog. It's turkey taco time.
Turkey taco time.
Omelets in the morning. Yep, ham omelets.
Ham omelets, turkey tacos.
Ham omelets and turkey tacos.
Been a minute. I don't know, bruh.
Sunday's the end of it. You're right, Jay. Sunday is the end of it. This is it. Get it all over with today.
Yeah.
Make that last sandwich. That's it.
But by the time people hear this, it'll be Wednesday. And
word.
By the time you're listening to this, you should not be messing around with anything Thanksgiving. I'm telling you.
It's going to be a medical emergency.
As much as they put their heart and soul in it, I'm telling you, by today, you should not be touching that right now. It's not going to go well.
For sure.
It's not going to go well this week.
Freeze the rest of them greens for Christmas, dog.
Well, how was y'all time, man? How was y'all time with the fam or whatever? How was that? How was it?
Man, I had a great, bruh. I've been off, Thursday, Friday, then I get my Saturday. Man, woo.
The brother said a good time.
My time off, bro.
Enjoy it. I know that's right.
One thing about the county, at least I get that Thursday and Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Needed that.
Yeah. How about you, James? How was your Thanksgiving with the fam, man?
Thanksgiving was cool. Nothing special happening. Just gathering with friends and family. It was dope. I got a chance to DJ another karaoke gig, though, the day after. That was pretty fun, man. They had like a 70s theme. Yeah. So they was doing the karaoke joint. They had the Afro wigs out and all of the 70s style stuff. It was fun, man. That was fun. Hey, it was a trip, though. One of the ladies, it was her birthday, and she did the Ancestry 23andMe joint.
Yeah.
And found a sister, yo. She introduced her sister to everybody there for the first time. She was like 70 years old.
Bruh.
And found a sister this year.
Bruh. Same thing happened out here, bruh. The exact same thing happened out here.
When?
Somebody did it. And she's about 60 years old.
Yeah.
And yes, they found out, Twan and them found out they had an aunt they didn't know nothing about.
Adoption? Somebody?
It wasn't, I don't know if it was, it wasn't adoption. It was just that they didn't know.
It was a Papa was a Rolling Stone situation.
It just had their grandma who has passed had a child they didn't know nothing about. And actually, I think Quiet as Kept it's a couple of them, but one came here for the first time, and we met her for the first time. Cool, and it was crazy because She sounds just like T Mom, look like her, the whole nine. And it is just no, it was a cool story though. But I just imagine that was a lot to take in because that's like you chilling 1 year and then you just somebody pop out the blue because of Ancestry.com talking about they your brother or whatever. You ain't gonna be like quick to be like, oh, okay, cool. You gonna be skeptical at some level.
Yeah. No, they did the research on this one. Like you were saying, it was a super match. Whatever super match is, they started putting the timelines and all the names together and traced it back to moms having a kid and putting it up for adoption.
Yeah,
it was wild, man.
Yeah, so it's interesting because of the whole DNA thing. It's gonna be a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I ran across a video this week on TikTok. Down my TikTok situation. Hey, the same kind of situation. They did the little DNA test.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was this is what happened. There was a murder in a park or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they got some DNA.
Oh yeah, I thought
they ran the DNA,
yeah.
And then it was like, oh, it matched closely to this particular person that did the DNA test. The feds went to the crib like, yo, the DNA is close. We need to take a sample, whatever. So they did the sample. Old girl called her mom's like, yo, they talking about, I ain't killed nobody in the park. I ain't been to the park. Kind of find out like great grandma had a child that they didn't know about. And I guess this the bloodline went down. So a particular person committed a murder and it tied back to them because they did the DNA test.
Wow.
Yeah, joint was crazy.
DNA junk ain't no joke.
Y'all did one?
Nah.
You haven't done one yet?
Nah.
Bookie, you did. Bookie, do you have siblings that we don't talk to?
Man.
You got siblings?
Shoot, not that I know. Shoot, my pops was like 80 years old when I was born. He was like 30 years older than my pop's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them situations. Dude was like 30 years older than her.
Man, I got a brother named Joseph. If y'all see Joseph Iglesias anywhere, hit us up. I ain't seen him since I was like 10.
Damn.
Yeah. I got a big brother, man.
That's crazy. Yep. It's interesting. When you get older and the older you get, all the little family stories that come out and siblings that you didn't know about and all that. And that's that is a real thing. So since we last was together, man, what's been up with y'all? Just on the personal, I know it's the Thanksgiving season or whatever. Anything interesting happen and around this time other than that? Y'all been doing on your time off? Bookie, you ain't doing nothing else on your time off or just chilling?
Man, I'm just relaxing, bro. I was just caught up on some TV series and relaxing and still trying to get this crib together.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that too, how that's coming along.
Yeah, it's coming along slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
For sure. How soon you think you're gonna be?
Yeah, when we cutting the ribbon.
Man, hopefully sometime in January, bro.
Okay.
Hopefully sometime in January. Yeah. We got pushed back a little bit, but yeah.
No, that's 60 days out, man. January ain't this December. That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing. What you into, Jay? How your house hunt? Not house hunt, but like transition. How's it going?
I mean, shoot, it's just starting. When I get back, I'll be spending the rest of the month. That's what I'm doing. The rest of the month, just packing and getting everything there because we got to get all the stuff there. And then we ain't really taking a lot, but we still got to pack what we are taking, which is enough. When you didn't live somewhere already for like 16 years, you got 16 years worth of stuff to go through to sort and be like, okay, I'm taking that. But like I was telling my wife, I think our biggest issue is going to be getting rid of stuff, like stuff that we're not taking and how fast we can kind of get rid of stuff. So we got the places where you can give away things and all that on deck to start that little process. But that's going to be the biggest hurdle.
My cousin got the plug on that. Why don't you let's talk offline. He got the van and all that.
Yeah, so it's
Do I
gonna
need to come over there and see what I can take off your
yeah,
hands?
man, because it's gonna be like I know I'm gonna tell you what you probably want. You probably want that portable AC, nigga. I know you can use another one of those in your crib.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, because the show ain't
Yeah.
taking nothing like that. We
All
just
right.
taking like and you know how we nigga rigged my bed that time?
Yeah.
And we put it together. We
Yeah.
taking that. So we gotta, disassemble that somehow, get that up out of there. We're really just taking the fridge and that's a big thing. And then the couch that we had just bought, that we're gonna take that. But everything else, gotta go. Like, and we probably take that a couple things in the living room, but all the rest of that stuff got to get out because we already gave a notice to the place to the lady and let her know by the first we'll be gone. So
Where
the goal is to be pulling up Christmas Day in the new spot. So that's the goal.
dope. What's up
But
with the music, man? What's up with the video shoots and all that? That's all in the lab still.
that's still in the lab, and it's just really figuring out the rollout because now you got all the pieces and you got all the stuff that y'all did behind scenes and stuff, all that stuff, and then how you just want to roll it out. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's because of all this moving right now. I don't know, but I remember when we first did it, I was like, let's put it all together. Let's make sure it sounds perfect as far as the final mixes and all that kind of stuff to then roll it out because it's gonna come out in the story form, but that's been the challenge, like how the story is to be told. But it's so far it's gonna be a mix of my hero, Mr. Rogers, and and hip hop. It's like telling the story just like Mr. Rogers did. And if y'all don't know who Mr. Rogers is, look it up. But it's like mixing storytelling with music
Mhm.
as a backdrop. So it's like Mr. Rogers meets hip hop somehow. I don't know. I had another term. I can't think of it right now. The two things that is marriage, uh, gonna be married in a sense. But yeah, so it's just figuring that out creatively how you want that to look. Because that's what the book was all about too, trying to get that done because that's going to be part of the storytelling, showing the pictures, and had to incorporate that in one of the videos and all that. So I don't know. It's fun though. That's what I can say. That it's like trying to figure it out. It's like trying to put a puzzle together until you're like comfortable with what you come up with. Like, okay, I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with sharing it like this. You know what I mean? And not rush it. I think a lot of stuff I've done in the past is like, oh, I just rushed it. Being young, you just want to hurry up and just get it out. And some of it just don't be all together, but you don't care. You just, man, I just got to get it out or whatever. But it's almost like telling, your life story in a sense. It's gotten big in that sense, and it's just a stage we are in our life. Like,
Yeah.
the whole like I answer the legacy question a little bit different than Mike Tyson. I think it's I think it is a little bit important how you leave your story and whatever, how your kids remember you and all that good stuff. I think that is important. So
You been getting some inspiration off that new Kendrick? Man,
not,
I'm
man,
loving that new Kendrick, man.
I get inspiration off of all artists like that. And what's so funny about this, and I'll start with this topic. What's so funny is look at how just really, really look at how the world can turn on you from Drake's perspective. I really hope people really, really get that and really see that and really take note from that and then see how they can kind of maneuver in such a way where they don't have to worry about that because what it seemed like now, because it's like unless you're a hardcore Drake fan, the machine, Bookie, and you've talked about this, the machine has been turned against him Just like, and I have to admit it, and I know people don't agree with this at all, but that same machine was used on Trump. I'm telling you, if they want to take somebody that they just don't like or whatever, systematically, you can hurt a public figure's image, period.
Get shape the narrative, huh? You just got to shape the narrative a certain way and keep saying it.
And you're going to use bots and you're going to use it. That's what his lawsuit is all about, because Drake's lawsuit is about, first of all, he know about all this stuff because that stuff made him hot. It kept him at the top, right? So he knows about it, but now it's been turned on him, thinking that it would never be turned on him because I got enough bread to keep paying everybody, because that's the game. I don't have bread. I get in the game, then I get in enough bread to pay everybody. But you never think that it's going to turn on you. But you got to always know when you playing with stuff like that, you got to be thinking in the back of your head, like, man, this could turn on me the way that
Clock is ticking.
It is, and you should just get your bread and do it, because it's gonna turn on you. And it's so funny because Jay-Z used to all rap about it. Like, that's a part of it. Like, you're gonna come from the bottom, you're gonna get up, and then it becomes profitable to turn on you. That's just how dirty, and you just gotta be ready for that. But if you so like your identity is so attached to it, and that's what you like, it's like
we build them up to tear them down, don't we?
Tear them down. So it's like
we love it. It's our favorite sport.
It's like you look at somebody like, and now you can comfortably say something like this. You could look at a personality like Tabitha Brown, nigga, and be like, nobody could ever tear her down. And
she too sweet. She too sweet.
Right. She ain't never did nothing to nobody, or blah, blah, blah. Nigga, it don't matter. If they find out enough dirt about you, you did enough wrong, and I'm telling you, it'll just flip. Everybody loved R. Kelly at some point. Everybody loved P. Diddy at some point. Everybody loved Drake at some point. Like, oh yeah, he the man. He ain't never fallen off.
And Drake catalog is crazy.
His catalog
I do some Drake songs at the karaoke joint. It goes up. Everybody, especially if they're under 20.
Yeah.
The Drake karaoke goes up. I'm talking about the whole atmosphere, energy change. Everybody know the words. Everybody up dancing. It's dude is a GOAT. He's a GOAT for real.
He is. But here's the thing. They still could take somebody just like that and still make they name mud. And there's always going to be a percentage of people who play their music, just like they're going to be a percentage of people who play Puff. They're going to play R. Kelly still. It's still going to be a percentage of, but that greatness, that can't be touched image and all that, like, your image can be.
I think it was just like how they did Diddy. Like, people forget. I think in the industry, they forget how they got there. Because a lot of people think it's all about their talent and what they did. Like, nah, these dudes put you up there.
Yep.
They remind you, we put you there, we'll bring you down. And so just like Diddy, Drake, them, they think that, okay, yeah, I'm hot. I did this. I'm making the records. I'm up here. They be like, oh, you want to act up? Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Because, he was tripping. He was trying to get that money from him, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you want to act up? But like you said, what he was suing for, it was the same thing he was doing.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what makes it so lame, bro. Like, all these light-skinned L's that I'm taking messing with Drake, bro. I need him to stop doing this light-skinned stuff. He messing it up for us, man. Because you're not supposed to be suing nobody because they beat you in a battle. Just take your L and go back to being Drake. You starting to look like Ja Rule. Remember when 50 Cent was burying Ja Rule? All Ja Rule had to do was keep making them same Ja Rule songs with Ashanti. He didn't need to waste no time with 50. He started wasting time with 50. And what did 50 do? I got the magic stick. It's in the candy shop. He started doing Ja Rule songs.
And think about it like this. Ja Rule had that hot moment just like Drake. Now, I'm not talking about numbers. I'm just talking about image-wise. Like, man, he's hot. He can't. whatever. And look how they talk about him now. You know, he
Mhm.
like a joke when it comes to the music business now. And what I'm pointing out is like, nigga, that'll be the same demise as somebody like Drake. Like they'll be laughing at him in all of these hits and all this stuff he did. It'd be like, man, when it comes to that entertainment game, people be forgetting about all that and don't feel affectionately about you that no more because you're not still out there with the illusion that you still on top and can't nobody mess with you, whatever. And it's not like everybody crapping on his name, and it's fun to crap on his name, and it get worse because that's what happened to Ja Rule. It's like you start crapping on his name, and then as time goes on, people just it's not like he made any hits, and that dude made hits.
But did he make any friends though? That's my question. Do y'all think he did himself any favors by moving the way he moved, like messing with dudes' girls? And
That's why
it didn't
I was
seem
about to
like Drake
say.
made no friends.
Yeah, because he was messing with dude girls and all that kind of stuff, and it was just like,
Man,
you hot, but you ain't for the culture.
You could probably do that, but you shouldn't be like bragging about it. Like,
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure. Think about everybody in the history of R&B. All kind of niggas have been doing stuff like that, bro. But they moved in such a way where they didn't really talk about it or really brag about it at the forefront. Where he leveraged some of that, and it was like, oh, I remember that time. Well, the little season when niggas was like, oh, he a sniper, man. Don't trust him around your girl. And it was
DM your wife.
But you're right. Over time, once you become the bad guy, then it's like all of that. It's not ha ha he's a sniper. Oh man, nigga trifling anyway. That's what he. To me, it's just a lesson on how, just not just for Drake, but just how the world will turn on you as an entertainer, like, and it's like almost like a part of the journey, like to just, you can't be this successful. You done got that successful. Okay, now it's time to turn on you, and we're gonna enjoy, doing that as well. It's just, I don't know, bruh.
That's just how it goes. That's always been true. It's true in sports too. We doing that with Patrick Mahomes now. We celebrated Patrick Mahomes' first few years.
True.
Now it's I didn't see you too many times. I don't want you to win nothing else now.
But some people are like bulletproof, like, because niggas Stevie Wonder ain't never went through that, bro.
Nah, we want him to win at all times.
But Stevie ain't never gave nobody, ammunition or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Stevie just been in the cut.
He just been
making hit records.
That's true.
Got him
putting people on, doing duets, collabs, all that.
He bought KJLH. Nobody want KJLH. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
He bought it. It's a local station.
Yeah. He did good stuff. Yeah.
Now Mike and Prince, now that was different. Mike was trying to buy up everything, Marvel, DC, Disney. You know what I'm saying?
He was making enemies. He was making real enemies.
He was making too many real power moves, dog.
Yeah. Y'all heard that story where Paul McCartney was doing a song with Michael Jackson, and Paul McCartney from the Beatles was like, oh yeah, he was just thinking in his head, like, after I, do a couple songs with him, I'm sure he'll give me some of my catalog back.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Man, Mike finished doing them duets and was like, all right, champ, I'll see you later. no conversation about no catalog, nothing.
No whatsoever.
We'll walk right up out of that. Just
right up out of it.
Right up out of that. Dude.
Hey, look, and remember how Prince got out? Prince was like, oh, you own Prince? You want to own my name? All right, my name is a symbol now. You don't own that. And I'm about to put out this whole album and go on tour.
Yeah.
He was buying people bastards too.
Yeah. Hey, that's a GOAT. Let me tell you, Prince is a GOAT. I say this all the time. Prince was the first real artist online streaming his own stuff back early 2000, late 90s when the internet first started popping. He was selling digital copies before anybody even cared about this stuff.
Yeah, back when we was
I need that biopic. Not the Purple Rain is dope, but I'm talking about this man is an internet legend.
Yeah.
The stuff we do and take for granted today, he was doing 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, they
need to talk about that.
Moves, dog.
Yeah, they made enemies. So Bookie, you don't think they just went out the way that the headlines say? I'm sure you got.
Definitely, you already know how. They killed both of them. The machine killed both of them.
You think so?
Man,
show both of them.
I know you ain't taking the headline at face value.
I ain't gonna lie. This the other thing. This because it's a part of this. This I went to the
Black History Museum.
yeah, the history of African American, the National Museum of African American History and Culture
In DC.
in DC, right?
Oh, that's dope.
I'm telling you, when y'all, if man, you get a chance, y'all get to this coast, go see it. I'm gonna tell you, I came out of that place a different person, and this is what I realize about America, bro. There are some people who love to create and can create, and there's another group of people who just love to steal. Nigga, they just. I'm not naming no names because they're part of this machine we talking about. Because they gonna set the situation up to steal whatever is being created, and can pull the plug and learn the systems and build the systems to try to control, because they can't invent a lot of them. Now, I'm not talking about everybody in just one particular group. I'm not. I'm just saying, once you go through the history of just us, you'll notice this pattern there of, oh man, they came up with this. Oh well, we gonna come up with this thing to steal. Like we gonna do good at something, and then somebody gonna come along and build something around it to capitalize on it, and in so many ways just steal. And that's just what we dealing with. Like period on this. But the museum is designed so dope, because you get in the elevator and you go down, and you know how like elevators be see-through. It'll have the years. You'll get on the elevator and it'd be like today, and then you'll start going down and it'd be like 1900s, 1800s, and then go all the way down to the 1400s, and then you get off, and that's where you start. And the museum progresses upwards. So you just go, you see one level, one exhibit, and then you just walk up like a little ramp, and you just keep going up and up where it get better and better. And all I see this pattern, nigga, is we get stolen from land. We come over here, we still inventing and making stuff. And I'm talking about in every area, bruh. It's so much stuff that we just started and it just gets stolen from us, period. And I'm talking about, you start from the 1400s to all the way up to to Jay Dilla, and hip hop. Like you gonna go through our history. And they just did a phenomenal job at that place, bro. I mean, billions and billions of I would say dollars worth of stuff up in there, from Prince's stuff. Name somebody who dope in our culture, and it's a piece of artifact up in there. Even small people like from Queen Latifah got stuff up in there. You know what I mean? It's just like anybody that you can name in history. Oprah got a whole little section where she got her things from her set up in there or whatever. But I'm telling you, I walked away like, bruh, they robbing us. Because think of this, like they said, this was in the cafeteria. They got a little cafeteria there that served wonderful food, bruh, like a wonderful soul food and fried chicken and all kinds of stuff. But it was a reminder up in there too that, dude, we was the first professional cooks in the country. Because when white folks owned us, nigga, they wasn't even cooking they food. They wanted us to cook, and we had our skills. We brought our skills over here from Africa. So when the biscuits, the chicken, you name it, all the spices, and using them in certain ways, and the okra and all that, nigga, we brought that stuff over, and we had that knowledge, and so we was the first ones cooking, technically, professionally. And it's like, and everything else built on that. Now, of course, we got other cultures came to the country and they make their contributions or whatever, but nigga, not like black people, nothing like it. And then we had everything. We had our own banks, nigga. We had our own, they even had like, nigga, we had to have our own everything. So they had sections of when we broke off and started having our own churches, like First AME and all that other stuff, even down to masonry. This was the first Black lodge that that existed, and this person was involved in it. And it was just mind blowing. We hear about our history in pieces, over
Right.
here, a bit over here, but to see it all, to spend 4 or 5 hours, bruh, just combing through all that stuff and being like, bruh, we didn't contribute it a lot. Cause you be thinking, oh, a lot of music, of course, in the sports, and we have them sections where we dominated as well. But nigga, everything, science, technology, architect. It was like the first people doing all kind of stuff, giving people ideas. It's just some people good at stealing.
What kind of merch they got in there? Can you buy some cross colors or something? What kind of merch they got?
Now they got a lot. They had a lot of merch, and by the time I got there, the museum was about to close, and I couldn't get through it. But a bunch of books, man, a bunch of books on every subject, every field, whether it's art, poetry, or whatever.
They didn't know 40 acres. They had any 40 acres closed.
Of course, dude. They got Spike Lee stuff up in there. They had everything, but they had a lot. It was a lot of dope stuff they had from the 60s, the 50s, Black Power movement. Like what you realize is like, man, this has been a progression. We was in chains. They got some of the chains, the things that they was locking us up with and using. They literally got it. They have these slave badges that they used to give people that was like dog tags, and it said what you did, what you was good at too. So if you was a dope cook or you was good with agriculture or whatever, it was on the tag too. And they had a bunch of those things, pieces of homes, and then they talked about all the rebellion movements. Dude, there was so many rebellions I didn't know about. Because you'd be like, did we fight back? And then,
of course we did. Of course we did. They're not going to tell you that.
No,
they're not going to tell you that.
All documented. It's like 7 to 8 big revolts, but Black people was like, dude, no, nothing. And then it was sad though in the beginning, because when they were snatching us up, some of us was just killing ourselves. Nigga, I would rather just die than be a captive and go wherever y'all was going. Then people was doing weird stuff like grabbing some of the dirt, dude, from grabbing it and literally eating it because they wanted to have a piece of their homeland with them. Like doing weird stuff. And then of course people jumping off the ships or whatever. But it was all kind of things that you just reminded of, like, dude, it is amazing that Black people are still surviving in America.
Hey, you think you still get into heaven if you jumped off on them slave ships? If you was a Christian already?
Man,
I think so. Though.
I think so.
I think you getting in, man.
Yeah, you get in, but it makes you think like they would rather do that, bruh. They was rather jumping off in shark infested waters than continue on them boats.
Don't forget you've destroyed my whole household. So it's not just like, oh, you took me from my land. You might have ripped my wife away from me. You might have killed my kid in front of me. My wife might have been pregnant. You might have punched her in the stomach, killed my mom in front of me. So I might be totally out of my mind by the time I think like I can't take no more.
But then you
know what I mean?
You wanted to keep us out of everything, as if you knew if we got in, we gonna dominate, we gonna do well. And it's like I want to keep these people from doing well, and nothing. That wasn't God's plan. God's plan was not for us to just stay slaves and stay. So you see us, nigga, fighting in all these civil wars and just the progression of everything to where we are now, to where niggas can be millionaires, billionaires, and do not need anybody else, to be self-sufficient. And just, you think about this, nigga, even though I know everybody don't like Oprah, but you got to understand, with a country starting like this, how does this Black woman just win over all these white folks, just all these white, especially white women?
She didn't have no dope pedigree either when she started. I mean, she was a news girl, but she didn't have no dope pedigree.
What is the magic that made to this day where all these, and it's predominantly, I mean, Black folks of course love you, but the driving force of her group is white women. She knew how to tap in. And it's like, how do you be a descendant of slaves and turn into this kind of person? Like your offspring become these kind of people. And then let's not even talk about how we dominated in sports. Because it went a whole section. They got Ali stuff up in there, robes, and all kind of people in there in sports. But it was a reminder that when we jumped in sports, they didn't want us, right? So we wanted to show that we were not just equal, like we deserve our spot in the country. So a lot of the first athletes like the Jackie Robinsons and all them, they was playing not just to play and get a check. They knew that they were setting the stage to say, Black people, we are worthy of being in these same arenas and getting the same light as anybody else in the country. We just ended up going up in there and dominating. Like not only do we belong here, that we gonna do very, very well, because the early NBA nigga was mostly white folks. You see what the NBA looks like now, and it's the same thing with the NFL. But you see what it looked like now. But you see who be up in them the sweet stuff owning the team and stealing from everybody. Like our college players just now getting bread now.
Just now getting bread, Jay. We've been watching college football, playing college football video games with these dudes. Images on the game. They ain't getting nothing but T-shirts and diplomas.
Some people are good at stealing. I'm telling you. And some other people are.
When you make the rules, you can do it. When you make the rules.
When you make the rules. And we had to navigate the rules. We had to manipulate the rules that they made. So yeah, we got to use the same documents that they saying that the country is built on. We got to maneuver in such a way, like, this should include me too. I am human. And then our scientists got to go and debunk the whole Black people are inferior
because they closer to the primates.
Yeah.
But check this out. Check this out. I was watching a video on the Rat Pack, right?
Yeah.
And your boy, Sammy couldn't go into every hotel in Vegas. But guess what? He the one who was bringing all the people there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He was like, they was like, you can't stay at this hotel. You can't eat where everybody else is eating. You got to eat in the back of the kitchen. And then your boy Frank, Old Blue, I was like, hey, if he ain't doing it, if he can't do it, none of us is doing it.
Got it.
Yeah, Frank wasn't going for that.
Yeah, so it's the same concept. Like, yeah, you need me to bring all these people to make the money, but you don't want me to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't want me to partake of everything. Like what was we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like we just wanted, but you were taking advantage of us, bro. So yeah, you don't have to pay them. You don't have to, it was whack because you could be owned by somebody, and this dude, like you are, like say you was good with woodwork, and you can create all these products for the person who own you, but you ain't finna see none of the bread. He finna see all the profits. He gonna sell all your stuff, and he might.
And it could be in his name because he own you.
Because he owns.
It could be in his, like we were just talking about Uncle Nearest before.
Yeah.
Went through a pre-pod. We're talking about Uncle Nearest, right? Uncle Nearest.
Jack Daniels.
So am I right? I thought I heard that the Jack Daniels recipe that everybody loves is really Uncle Nearest's recipe. Is that the story?
So here he is. He in a position where he could have been the owner of Jack Daniels, but the system is working against him at the point. He's a son of a slave. Yeah, he teach a poor white dude essentially, because he wasn't no baller or whatever, but he taught him, and he learned. And because like I'm telling you, James, and it is because I put a post up, it didn't get no love, and I knew it wasn't gonna get no love when I posted up. It was probably being at the museum or whatever, and I was like, with all due respect, when I say this, at all due respect, we built this place. Period. We built this.
Hey, ain't no apology for that.
And it's It's just the facts. You can't name something. You could talk about liquor, you could talk about cars, you could talk about traffic lights, you could talk about all kind of stuff that we just did, and we didn't have the system leaning towards us, and we was still making this stuff happen.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, so yeah. Like I said.
Hey, so yo, can we talk about this crypto boom since we all loving America right now?
Nah, you and Bookie can most definitely
Hey,
crypto.
Bookie.
What is that about? Don't tell me nothing about Trump, bro.
I'm saying, like, you talk about the history of the country finna shift. Hey, it's about to be a whole shift. I can't imagine these next 4 years being business as usual. It don't feel like it. It ain't been 2 months, Bookie.
If you got some extra little cash, man, XRP, XLM, throw some money in it, Coinbase, whatever you want to. If you need a link, hit me up. I'll shoot you a link to get you started. Hey, a lot of people missed on Bitcoin. A lot of people missed on Bitcoin. Don't miss out on this one. That joint is taking off, bro. Hey, we gotta credit 47, though. That's the truth.
I told you don't mention him, bro.
Hey,
you have to. You have to, because he's pro crypto. I don't know how much he is, but definitely, like, what's his name, Elon and them being on his team, they gonna make it friendlier. I don't know how they gonna make it work.
What happened to Elon promoting them too? Because it seemed like for a minute he was promoting certain.
Oh no, he promoting them too. Follow.
Just naming that government efficiency program, Doge, made the Dogecoin go up.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a worthless coin with no usage. There's no value to it. It's just it's a meme coin. I think that's what they call them.
Yeah,
it don't have no value. It just word of mouth, get a little buzz, and it just goes through the roof. Like it was dead.
But ain't that part of the machine though?
Yeah.
Some of that.
XRP is a real thing though.
It has a use. It has a use case, right?
XRP.
Yeah. Ripple actually does something.
Yeah, that's how they're. Yeah, that's the blockchain. That's how they're going. They were saying, the guy from BlackRock was saying, like, the system, you can wire money in 3 seconds.
I knew it was probably going to be something nice when they tried to sue him and try to stop him.
Yeah,
a couple years ago they was like, "Nah, we gotta stop this." I'm like, "Oh, this one might." Because
it takes a long time to wire cash, and they hit you for a lot of fees when you wiring cash.
What was that stuff that was garbage though? That was that people was doing. That was like
NFTs.
NFTs. There you go.
Remember that Waves?
Wait, see that stuff like that be having me a little gun shot. Now I already know stuff like Bitcoin and stuff is official.
Did you jump on the NFTs?
No, I couldn't afford it. I was too late. It was too late. Too late for me.
Nigga, I knew the NFTs wasn't finna be nothing when like Jim Jones was jumping into it, the rapper. When I see like certain rappers do it, I'll be like, that's a nigga right there.
Hey, a lot of dudes lost a lot of money. Look, a lot of dudes lost a lot of money, and a lot of dudes made a lot of money.
Came up off of that. Crazy.
Bookie, how you get into crypto? How you get in? I mean, what got you interested? I mean, I remember we was on that before the pandemic.
It was like during the pandemic, right before the pandemic. It was just we was in the because I was trying to get into stocks at one time.
Gotcha.
We was in the stocks, and then they started talking about this crypto, and I was looking at it, and then that's when Bitcoin was hit it up, and then they started releasing these other little coins. I was like, oh, and then I made a little change off of Shiba.
Oh yeah,
Dogecoin, all that. And I was like, oh, this is a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I had, no lie, bro, I had left like $25 in a account during pandemic.
Yeah.
I woke up today, it was like $1,200 in that joint. Oh, yeah, like that? All right, yeah, we own.
Hey, he not lying. He made me go sign into all my accounts. Like, wait a minute, I want to find something too. I'm looking at all my accounts like, what's the password? I got to find the password. Sure enough, something been sitting for like 5 years, then tripled. I'm like, oh, okay, we got a little something. All right, what's the next play, Bookie? Bookie said Ripple and Stellar. I'm like, say less. Whatever you doing, I'm doing.
And I've been sitting there studying that joint, bro. Like since I got out of school, I've been studying it. Like, what is this? What does this mean? Yeah. And it's and you look at a lot of countries. Venezuela was buying a bunch of crypto. Japan.
Don't bring up Venezuela right now.
Hey, look,
the case, bro.
Hey, they trying to get back on the map.
Pack it up, leave it there. Pack it up.
They tired of eating that dolphin meat over there, dog. They tired of dolphin meat and you know what I'm saying? And gorilla legs and all that. They tired of eating all that. They tired of it, dog. They trying to make a move.
You're stupid.
Because ain't nobody, because you really not. That's why your girl, look, when the last administration, like, hey, we gonna hit them with that them taxes
on the unrealized profits.
Tax gains, like
come on,
when they said that, then I was like, yeah, something up. When the SEC was trying to block them, something up.
Yeah,
that's real.
It's a trip. It's a trip to see this stuff go up, man. Like the one he talking about on November 1st was like 50 cents, and as we speak, it's in the high twos. It done flipped like 5x. All you had to do was be in 30 days ago and you 5x your money. But it's so volatile, you don't know necessarily when to get in, especially if you don't have a whole lot to lose. So you just have to be like, oh, if I'm late, I'm late. But I didn't have it on the 1st. I didn't know enough. But man, whoever was in on November 1st already, it done went 5x.
And it's a lot of
when the Staples Center turned into the crypto arena, nigga, we should have known.
Hello.
Yeah.
They was giving us signs, dog.
Yeah.
You gotta, they was giving us signs. You gotta follow the money. When it comes to money, I follow the crooks.
Follow the crooks. That's in line with America, brother. That's in line with us.
Yeah.
You want to know something real? Follow the big corporation as crooks. You like, okay. That's why they came out with that app where they following all the Congress people. Their stock. They got somebody created an app that just follow all Nancy Pelosi. Stock trades, bro.
I remember I did that one time during the pandemic. I did that. They had talked about this thing that Trump was going to let Kodak do all the COVID stuff, and they announced it on a Monday. So I bought it that Monday. But they had already told their homies on Thursday. It had doubled from Thursday to Friday. It had doubled again from Friday to Monday.
Mm-hmm.
All of the people in the background already knew about it the week before anybody knew public. Once we learned about it, we got in on Monday. By Tuesday night, it had doubled again. So everybody who was in on that like Thursday morning, that last week, they 4 or 5x their money. The rest of us just doubled and got right out. Kodak never did make the COVID stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Kodak never did make the stuff. All they did was.
But this is the difference though from doing regular stock trading to crypto is, you got to be a day trader in order to really make money. In order to be a day trader, you got to have like 30 racks just sitting there that you're not even trading on. It just got to be sitting there. You're trading on something else.
Yeah, you gotta have
in order to be a day trader. You know what I'm saying? With that crypto, you get in there $10 and go, you know what I'm saying? Go flip and make some magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it's for the people.
Just let it sit. Just let it sit.
My boy said it's for the people.
It's for you going 2030 gonna come, you be like, man, how are these millionaires?
But you know what? One of the crazy things that I did see in that museum. One of the craziest things that I seen in that museum, and Bookie, I knew you was gonna like this, is nigga that your boy Bill Gates had his own little section where he had his name on there, where he probably donated a lot of money. His foundation, his name was on a big part inside of it. On
my
the first
God!
floor. I was like, oh, I know we took that check right there.
Look, now I don't want to eat the chicken in the cafeteria, dog.
I knew that was next. What's on the menu? What are you doing to the menu, Jay?
That man ate a boneless leg. How you have a boneless leg? Hey, come on, man.
I gave that the side out. I was like, they had to take the boy's check. He had to put his
Oh
name on. He knew
God.
this in DC. It's a national, like this right across the street from like the national monument, man. He like, yeah, I got to get my name up in there right there.
Man, come on.
Do that. I was like, ah.
How was your DC trip though?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in Maryland currently, but it's cool. It's cold, we didn't do much. We went bowling. I was seeing a little bowling alley, and a few dinners or whatever. We were supposed to go to the movies, but my daughter wanted to go just with her cousins and hang out, probably without us old folks. So we just did a lot of chilling in the house. But, I'll probably get out tomorrow and see more and ride around. But it's a trip seeing all the monuments and seeing the White House over there in the distance and all the monuments. Because you just see that stuff on TV or you've seen it on your money and all that stuff. But to be right up on it, you'd be like, wow, that's a real thing. So it's cool. It was in a little cool. Now I'm gonna tell you what is funny too versus the West Coast being on the East Coast. We forgot about these brothers because they not that heavy and on the West Coast, but the FOI brothers and the Bean Pies brother,
they on the corner with it, Jay.
Brother, right outside the museum, brother. I know you want a bean pie, brother, or a donation, brother, to the nation. Now, this is a cool part about Maryland, too, because similarly to Atlanta, there's a lot of thriving Black people out here. And Black people just on not just FOIs, but Black men, I'm not used to it on the West Coast of just greeting you as brother. Hey, brother, like the dude came and delivered some pizza today. Oh, brothers. Oh, y'all, brother, y'all finna eat good. Just talking like that, just normal. It's like it's a just I don't know. DC, used to be known as Chocolate City.
Chocolate City,
It's still like that. Like Black people just dominating everywhere you go, and just like you're not scared of nobody. Nobody not really scared. You just see a lot because that's what I saw at the museum. You just see a lot of Black people just with their families being mad normal, just out. But just
hey, do the FI still sell the newspaper, the Final Call?
Yes, that's what he was hitting us.
They printing the newspaper in 2024.
I know that's whack, right? But here's what's whack about that, because I had a homie who was who's hardcore Muslim. Nigga, they be buying all that stuff and reselling it. Of course, they getting it at a cheaper level, so they gonna buy all their bean pods, buy all them Final Calls, and flip, or whatever, and may ask for your donation, but nigga, they gotta buy all that stuff themselves.
That's their first way of getting back on their feet, right? Because they make them pay for that suit they got on too, don't they? Yeah. They buy the suit. That's
I know that the products they slinging to us, they got to purchase themselves. Now I know they got their reasons, and it's probably like you say, for empowerment or whatever. And
you got to work, man. If you're gonna be a man, you got to work.
Here's what's so crazy. It is because they was up at the museum too. But what's crazy is it's kind of like it's a part of Black people's DNA, if you will. Like a part of our makeup in this country is Muslims too. You know what I'm saying? Of course, believers like us. But it's like a part of this journey. It was like all of these different type of Black people were involved in moving things forward, because they really brought to the forefront, and I have to give them their credit, a lot of information about self-sufficiency, and stop relying on other people's system. That's just a message that they push. Now, they God and they that and they theology. I wouldn't indulge in, but some things that came out of that was like, yeah, I could see that being helpful, and what Malcolm X was trying to push. Like, man, they helped really spark that fire of a lot of what you saw, what the Black Panthers were doing. And Black Panthers was doing a whole bunch of positive stuff in the hood. It's like, it's like this country, somebody a part of this machine does not like seeing us empowered. and full of dignity and loving ourselves. It's like it's something about that. They like, nah, that's too much. And if we start leaning into that it's something about the system do not like it. Now, if you want to be Glorilla, Cardi B, and all that, they all for it, bro. They all kind of stuff like that. They're gonna support it and keep it. But as soon as you start talking about you talking about being dignified and having your own and being intelligent and we're gonna build our own. We don't need this, that, and because that's the harsh reality. It's kind of like if we stay on a track of we just gonna support our own, historically, man, we'll do well. Like we be talking about, oh, these banks don't give us a loan. So back in the late 50s and 60s, we had our own banks because of that. Because it was like, oh, they're not. And so we would just build.
That's what I always preach. That's what I'm always preaching.
Telling you, like Wall Street.
It is. And in the places where that thinking is still there, it's still, thriving. You just got to build your own. And when you really, 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 really think about it, that's what everybody else has done in America. That's why their people are empowered in certain ways. You ain't never seen a Korean bank before. You ain't never seen a Chinese bank. You ain't never seen a bank that leaned towards Hispanics.
I just can't read none of the signs on the building. I don't know. I wouldn't even know. I just know it's a bank.
Because you know what, James? Because it ain't for you. That's the reality of it. It's not for you. That's not. Yeah. It's not for you to get. You can. Because I remember my aunt. She had an account. She had an account. She had no limits. She said no limits. She had an account that was in Long Beach.
She was a black lady walking up in there like, "How you doing? I'd like to withdraw some money, please." I know they was looking at her like, "What are you doing in here?"
Only because they can't. I mean, at the same time, it's America, so I can't keep you out of here.
Right.
But like people, every ethnicity built up their community in these ways. Things that you'll just find out you'll need in America. Like you'll need your own politicians, you'll need your own doctors, you'll need people who look like you, who most likely will help you out. And it's kind of like, we were kind of, I don't know, pushing it into this integration system where it's kind of like people they just tolerate you. They ain't gonna celebrate. They just gonna tolerate, and they didn't gotta lean towards you because their people are already supporting it. We're already being supported. You just extra. You just deserve coming up in here, and I don't know. We just.
It's a trip, man. I take my mom to this one store in the hood. It's like Western and something. 54th and Western, something like that. Got all the type of black soul food delicacies that you would want. All kind of hot sauces, Louisiana bread, and all the different types of Zatarans, all that. And they got pig's feet, they got ham hocks, and they hog maws, all that stuff that you would think is just like strictly soul food. Not a black person behind a single counter. It's all somebody else back there. It ain't none of us, but that's all ours. All our stuff. All you see is black people coming in and out, in and out.
Exactly. So
pig feet, like, all that. It's
what to sell to us, but we gotta own it. And some people, but it's still, the struggle continues in certain.
I was on Rosecrans Central the other day, and they had an Asian and Hispanic dude that was selling bean pies in the paper, dog. They were selling bean pies over there, dog. I'm like, and I look, you like, nigga, you Asian? What you doing? And looked over, and the Hispanic dude was in front of Louisiana Chicken with a suit on. Yeah. I'm like, hey,
was they FOI?
Yeah, they was on the island.
There's
in the middle of the island selling with the bean pie. They're the only ones to sell bean pies.
Man, that's why I say I don't hardly see them on the West Coast, so that's interesting. But it was like back in the mid '90s, like late '90s, it seemed like it was a influx of FOIs here because I remember they had put a big mosque over there off of Vermont not too long. Well, like it was somewhere around there, like late '90s, and it's not there no more. And on my block, I was off of Century in Vermont at that time. So, one of they people had got robbed at a bus stop, and they came and shut down the block, just like on X, nigga, when they all walk and just all line up on the block. and they was just coming around asking everybody, and I can't front. When they make that kind of presence and stuff, it's very impressive because it's very peaceful, but it make you be like, dang, these niggas is serious. And
They serious.
They lined up all on the block on both sides of the street, all organized. And then I came out and was like, what's up? And then they told me that one of their people had got robbed on the bus stop. Did I know anything about, people doing that? And nigga, this is deep. At the time, I don't know who it is now, but it was deep Hoover hood at the time. These niggas over here, these niggas is active gangbang, and they had no problem still coming over there. Like, we know what kind of neighborhood this is, but we still, take care of our own. But I thought was very impressive. But
hey, you know what? I do have to give them their props though, because they had a spot on Imperial and Crenshaw that sold some fire fish sandwiches, bro.
Yeah, they had over there. Yeah, they had one off of King too, called Shabazz. And it
was Shabazz.
Shabazz Bakery,
Well, I ain't gonna lie, Bookie. I was sad to see that go. When that shut down, I was like, bring back the Muslims over here.
Yeah.
They knew how to make that fish sandwich, bro.
Hey, they was like, man, our fish ain't got no mercury in it, no whoop, whoop, whoop. I was like, oh, let me get 2 of them, bro. that no mercury.
Yeah, and I remember that bread was something
different level.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you ain't lying. So it just good.
Yeah,
you got to give it up. You can't be if you come correct with the sandwich, bro.
Yeah,
you can't be hating on them like that.
Not at all.
I noticed that there was on TikTok. There was this girl because you was talking about James, how you took your mom to that store, and they got all our products up in there, and
chitlins, everything.
That's and that's sad because we supposed to be running a place like that. So the stuff like that got to do with our culture. Like we supposed to be behind the counter and keeping that money in the community. But and it's so sad. But I got excited when I seen this girl on TikTok. Her family just bought a Louisiana fried chicken. I was like, man, it's on Broadway in Maine, I believe, is where it is. But I was like, about time that we can walk into one of them establishments home and see somebody that looked like us behind the counter. And I was laughing because she was talking about how she was selling more Kool-Aid than anything. And the girl was making big jugs of the red stuff. And I was like, yeah, I ain't had none of that in so long. I'm like, yeah, I can see myself going up in there and get it.
Hey, that's on my bucket list, man. I want to own a Louisiana, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's on my bucket list. And I know a spot where it ain't one nowhere near in any direction. I'm plotting on that. It didn't used to take much. Like I did a little research on that. It was one family that spread how to get that done. It was one business model, one Vietnamese dude. All his network took over all of LA with them Louisianas. All you had to have was like 20 bands, 20,000 to get set up. I don't know what it take now.
It's this dude I've been spending a lot of time on TikTok. On vacation, I've been spending a lot of time hours.
Yeah.
This dude I've been following him for a while though. But his tag is The Rich Get Richer. And his name is Richard. But The Rich Get Richer is a brother on there that shows you how to acquire businesses. And it's so many sites, James. It's so easy. You could get a SB Small Business Association loan for your first little business. He show you where to go on the site. Where you show because people be doing this. They be like, I got 10,000 and I want to open up a Dunkin' Donuts. You think that's possible? And he be like, that ain't nothing. And then he go through each step of what you got to do and what it is, man. And this is just coming with age, bro. What it is for all these businesses, James, they eventually you get too old to operate them and you just want to sell them. So yeah, they might be in your family, but somebody in your family might not want to buy
them.
Might
not want to be bothered with that. Yeah. Especially food. All that stuff you got to keep track of. That's one of the hardest ones. You got to really have a dope spot or they'll tax you for that franchise if you're going to get into a big franchise. That's gonna
But
cost.
look, dude, it could be a because it was one of them. I was surprised. It wasn't a Chick-fil-A, but it was something on that level.
Franchise type.
Yeah, like franchise. It's a site where it's just a franchise, and they trying to sell it. But what's dope is you could literally pick a spot that already got history, already got workers, already got managers, and you could literally put in the description when you're searching for it that you just you don't want to work it, you want to just take it over, just be a new, and it's so many places out there, and I'm like,
Really?
oh man, I'm telling you, the
I wouldn't
rich
expect
get
that.
richer. And he go through the whole thing, and I'm telling you, 10 racks. And I'm not saying that you just can come up with that just whatever. But if you can get to 10 racks, nigga, you can do way more than you could ever imagine. One, you can get the loan with that and secure a spot, like nigga, like. And I'm like, dude, I gotta figure it out so I can get like 2 or 3 of them and be like,
Set.
be good. But again, there was a time when people was gatekeeping this info and we couldn't get to it. But when he broke it down of all these sites that you could go to and just look, and if you want to work it, that's another thing. It's like all kind of spots, especially them spots that be like the food places that be connected to gas stations. People be selling them all the time. And they
Like
have
the crunchy chicken.
exactly. Exactly. Spots like
What's the
that.
name of that place with the barbecue and the gas station? That's probably near you, Jay. Is that Texas or Atlanta? They got like some barbecue inside the gas station, and it's supposed to be
Nah, you
popping.
talk about Bucky's.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a whole different. That's a whole
Yeah,
different
that's
level.
a whole. They booming like Walmart.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
not cutting you in right now. Bucky's is booming.
But that model, that's what you're talking about, right? That model where
Yeah,
you
it's
gonna
No,
be getting gas and you
he
need
talking
something
about
to eat.
like you never had crunchy chicken, whatever.
nigga. I
Anybody?
have. I remember
Yeah.
when they came out because they came out gunning for Popeyes.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
came out like, nigga, we finna take over. Y'all
Yeah,
like
they
Popeyes?
got the little section in there with the food. You like the little restaurant section inside, like
Yeah.
the gas station.
Yep, that's where they are now, though. But
Yeah.
yep, spots like that, and then they have like what's the little pretzel places that be at the mall?
Like Pretzel
Annie's.
Wessel and Annie's
Yeah, like
Pretzel.
those.
Annie's, yeah.
A lot of those. He was going through those. It's like, man, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. If I would have known this stuff out of high school, dude, it'd have been all kind of stuff I would have really focused on. And then
Bookie knows somebody with a Cinnabon. Bookie, is that a win? Cinnabon, is that a win?
Man, it's a win, dog.
I didn't know.
You know, hey, it probably costs about 25 cents to make a cinnamon roll. And you charge like $6 for the joint.
Man.
It's a win, dog.
It is.
It's
man.
a lot of work though, because he when I talk to him all the time, and he'd want to help me with the crypto and all that, and so like he kind of like my like business mentor kind of dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look to him for all the information, but he says it's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying?
Like prep in the morning before you open and at night to get everything right.
Yeah, well, he got people working for him, but business like that, you still gotta put in a few hours yourself and go there and do what you got to do. And it's in a mall, so it's a lot of work. But my cousin owned a bunch of he owned not a bunch, but he had a few like wing stops and different places, spots like that. He said he'll never go back in the food industry.
No.
Yeah, and he was on the East Coast. He said he won't go back in the food industry. He said that food industry is rough. It's a lot of work.
But you got to throw stuff away. You only got a certain amount of time to get that stuff off, and then legally you got to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, and then think about it, like you on the East Coast, you might have a blizzard. You know what I'm saying? You still got to meet your quota. You know what I'm saying? Like who gonna go out and go get some chicken in a blizzard? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to think about that. You got those winter months, all that. And yeah, he said it's a lot of work.
It's like a Six Flags down the street from the crib, It ain't like our Six Flags. Our Six Flags open all the time.
Yeah.
They Six Flags closed during the wintertime. Like, don't nobody want to be zooming down no mountain in the freezing.
10 degrees.
It's 10 degrees outside.
So it's a whole part of the season. They ain't even getting no bread. It's just closed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see it. I can see that for certain spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy.
Because he was like he was like Jamba Juice be cracking. He said that's one franchise that be cracking. Jamba Juice.
Hey, did y'all notice how they changed their name now?
Nah.
Yeah, Google it. Remember, because that's how we know it. Jamba Juice, Jamba Juice. Now it's just Jamba. With the same colored letters and stuff. I'm like, nigga, that's a business move right there.
Yeah,
they not selling juice no more. What they selling now?
They still selling the same
they selling
thing.
drink. No, they ain't juice. It's drink.
Nah,
they selling food
they
and
changed
stuff
the
in there
formula. It's like somebody did mess up that original
Yeah.
name. Like Prince turning his name into that symbol. I'm like, yeah, somebody did something to that original name.
They got the acai bowls and all that.
Yeah.
You know it got to be a certain amount in there for it to be called juice.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of stuff on the shelf be called drink.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure.
They might be trying to cut corners because that inflation killing them. They was like, nah, we can't make
I
no
learned
more
that
juice.
about ice cream too. If when you go to the grocery store, get an ice cream sandwich or drumstick, that joint gonna say frozen dessert. It don't say ice cream no more.
But see, those are them American games, though. That's them games because
that's the Bill Gates games.
yeah, because it just that's like Kraft. The cheese it don't call it. I think it's just slices or something like that. The package joints, the plastic.
Yeah.
It don't say cheese nowhere.
It don't say cheese nowhere on that. Kraft singles.
It's
called. Singles.
I think they use the word product now, like a cheese product.
You're like a shoe is a product.
Yeah, it's not even yeah. No, hey, that's why the other countries be like, y'all don't even eat real food, and we don't even know we ain't eat real.
No, we don't, because we be so programmed. Because the machine be telling us we eat regular food. The machine showing us like, it's regular food. What was that movie? They said, and somebody. I told y'all about the documentary, and it was about buying stuff. I think.
Buy now.
Yeah, buy now, right? And in one part of that documentary, she was like, "This place has become like." That movie with that robot. It was that little white square robot. I can't think of the name. And the people weren't doing nothing. Everybody had got big. Nobody was going outside. And it was, I can't think of it. And I had seen a lot of that movie and just thought, and I was like, man, we really didn't got there, bro. We really just stuck around with our phones. We spending a bunch of time. We don't be outside heavy. I'm like, man, I gotta break some of this because I'm like, they can't play me like that. They can't put this stuff in movies and then it's reality.
They still fall for it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm in a couple of those little Facebook groups where like Prime Video and Hulu, like what to watch and all that.
Yeah.
And they were talking about that buy now, and like they was depressed talking about it, bro.
Man.
Like people in the group, they was like, I feel bad now. And they was like, after watching this, I feel bad. I was like, what happened?
Because, bro, it's like the one thing that the media is not showing us, like the machine is not showing us at all, is what's happening to all of our stuff that we throw away. Now you think, man, my family got a bunch of junk, or you can think about your garage or our storage unit or something and be like, man, I got a bunch of stuff I need to get rid of or whatever. But then you got to multiply that by millions of people. And then you realize, nigga, it's a serious problem. Like, we just can't get rid of this stuff. It'd be different if it was just safe to just take it somewhere and it's this big furnace place. They just burn up everything. But nigga, that's not a reality. And nobody's investing in anything like that. Nobody's investing in how to get rid of it. So what happens? Where does it go? We just say we throw it away. So it's like we know we part of the problem, and that's it. That's that documentary reminds me of when, like, remember What the Health came out, and they started talking about food and how it shook up people. People was like, "Oh man, I can't be eating this. I gotta go vegan," and all. Like when something like that dropped. But we never thought about our trash, and we'll get shirts. I'm wearing a shirt right now, and I got 3 of these shirts. Before I left from the Converse outlet, they was like 3 for $30, and I was like, "Oh, cool." Cool little shirt or whatever, but it's them joints that you wash it 2 or 3 times and then it's not as cool as it was.
Right.
What's finna happen to this shirt eventually, right? I'm gonna get rid of it, and
you gonna wash the car in it a couple times, then you gonna wash the car with it.
Yep, exactly.
And then it's going to the trash.
It's going in the trash, and it's like, well, where does it go? You can't bury it. You can't put it in the ground and it's just gonna go away. So it gotta go somewhere where somebody legitimately is either gonna repurpose it or legitimately like burn it up, because it's not gonna go anywhere. I can throw it in the trash. It go into a landfill. It's not disintegrating, but yet we pressing up and making more and more shirts like every day and making sales and stuff like that. Every
take them joints and drop them off in a third world country.
That's exactly what they did in that video.
Like the Super Bowl shirts when the Super Bowl dude don't win, when the team don't win,
bro.
They already got them made.
Where do they go, bro?
It's a lot of 49er fans somewhere.
Where do they go? Somebody gonna dump them somewhere, throw them in somebody's trash, and like I said, you can't bury them and they go away. So they going somewhere. And we just doing this all over the planet, bro. We just low key setting ourselves up for failure. But I wanted to ask this because this came up in light of me moving around. James, I know you can lend some help to this too. And Bookie, I really want everybody input because based on your current church, there's things about the church that you like. And you know that you've grown because both of y'all been at y'all respective congregations. I know like 10 plus.
10 plus, yeah.
Been more than a decade at y'all place. So when you move somewhere else, even though we got a place in line, I see your video that went out, James. But anyway,
James,
pause real quick.
Face. You don't want anybody to see his face while you're talking about.
All right, what I was saying was, we got a little technical difficulty. What I was saying was, y'all been at the churches for a while, and so y'all have a feel of what is a cool church. Moving to another place, what do y'all think is the best method of how to find a good church when you move into another location?
Go ahead, Bookie. What you think? I ain't moved in forever.
Yeah, I mean, either. I've been at the same.
But y'all know
locations.
But y'all know what healthy churches are.
Yeah, and I've been helping a lot of people that have moved. Like that's part of what I do at my church is really kind of help people who are just new to the city or trying to find somewhere else to go. They done fell out with their last church and they need something to do. So I'm really passionate about helping people find something. And what I usually tell them to do is first get a feel for what a healthy church is. That's first. You got to get a feel for what a healthy church is. So you got to have like 7 or 8 deal breakers that wherever church you visit in, whatever church you're recommended to, whatever church you're thinking about, they got to at least meet these marks. So you got like websites like 9marks.com that has the 9 key attributes of a healthy church. Like, you know, the leadership is accountable to the congregation and they believe the word of God is true, and they believe that you got to live a holy life, and they believe that you know, there's a heaven and a hell. They believe that you got to evangelize, you got to preach, you got to pray, you got to sing, you got to fellowship. So all the main stuff. And then once you got all that down, then you got to go visit, and you just got to sift through the different types of singing, the different types of preaching. Like I can never sit under no hooper. I can't listen to somebody do the same song for 20 minutes. Like I couldn't sit under that. And other people couldn't sit under like what they would consider like boring lecture sermons that I would love. Somebody else would be like, I can't sit through that. So you got to just go go date. You got to go date a bunch of churches till you
That's what I
find
would.
one
That's
worth
what I was about to
marrying.
say. I think you gotta date around the churches because, I mean, because I kind of X'd out like solid doctrine. It was like that's already a given. You know what I'm saying? That you're not even gonna go nowhere that ain't got no solid doctrine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now you got to deal with the type of preaching because like I think once you commit to the church, you ain't supposed to like just church hop after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless it's something
Nah.
foul going down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to date it. You have to date her just like a woman. Like, are you willing to deal? I'm willing to deal with this, but I'm not. I don't want to deal with this because I can only be here for so long. Like James saying, if like I can't sit under dry preaching. You know what I'm saying? Be like,
Yeah.
man, I can't sit up there. We singing hymns all day for
Yeah.
praise and worship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about the culture? Like, would it have to be kind of like hip hop vibes? Do it have to be predominantly minorities or not minorities? Some people have a real preference besides language. Like, we know language, you got to be able to understand. But
I would
what's your
do
preference on the demographic?
like I would like I said before. I have to relate to the people that's around me because we become a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I gotta like I have no problem with a multicultural church. You know what I'm saying? Like I would embrace it. But if I'm just at a predominantly, you know what I'm saying, another race church with no other like black people here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
And
gonna
I
be
can't
challenging.
relate to it. It's just like I'm just coming and I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, somebody told me they couldn't go to no church where they turn the lights out for praise and worship. Somebody just told me that. You know how they have like the light the studio setup where it's like
Yeah,
bright like club lights
yeah,
on the stage and
and
everything
I
else
with
is
that.
turned off.
Yeah,
They didn't. This lady was telling me like she was at a church, you know, like childhood church, and then the new pastor came in and he redid the sanctuary to have that lights on the stage, everything else was turned off. And she left. She told him like, I ain't finna worship in the dark. I ain't come for all that. She's like, she's like, well, it's like going to the club. She was like, I don't go to the club and I don't want to be a part of this church no more. And she left because of the lights, yo.
Yeah, and I can't be under nobody with all the theatrics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like what?
Like you
What's
got
theatrics to you?
swimming pools on the stage, sand, and you know what I'm saying? Like I'm swimming in the pool, like on the like I can't do the
you don't like the lights, camera, action. You don't like that.
Yeah.
You not with the props?
Yeah. Not with the prop. Not every Sunday, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's a show every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for a show, dog. Like
I think that's kind of dope. If
I
it
went
was
through something
done,
this week, bro. I don't need you to be swinging from the chandeliers, dog. I need you.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I feel
That's
that.
fair. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm with a new approach to presenting information. I'm with a new approach to getting people's attention and driving home lessons. But it's like you can't be ignoring what people need to give somebody a performance. Like, so I'm not gonna demonize somebody. Like, obviously, the easy target would be like Mike Todd because he spent probably the most money on his spirit. What do you call them? Like sermon analogies or whatever, the props. He's probably spending the most money on his props. But I'm not going to just be mad at him because he got some kind of theatrics. I'm probably more upset if the discipleship network ain't in place. So I would rather go to a place with all them theatrics on Sunday and they discipleship network is dope than going to some place that's real quiet and traditional and safe and they discipleship plan is like non-existent.
I don't want either one of them.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want either one of them. You gotta
Same.
I gotta be somewhere in the middle where like discipleship is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like evangelism is dope. We out in the streets, we all doing, you know what I'm saying? Like we in the community, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's the part that's broken, Jay. If you really want to talk about it, what everybody's hitting the panic button about is that's the part that's broken, Jay. The discipleship network is either fragile, non-existent, or not a priority. It's on the back burner. It's all about the Sunday experience. And that ain't the first church you see in the book of Acts. They were not locked in on no Sunday experience. They was living life, real life together.
Yeah, mine, I think my latest one now is nigga, if I can't smoke a cigar with one of the elders, I ain't coming.
Hey.
Not all of them, because that ain't everybody thing. I
Yeah.
totally get that. But if I can with one of them and it's no problem, it's all good. I'm clowning, but
I'm so glad you said that, because I was listening to a sermon and the dude, they get in a zone and he was saying like, you went from smoking to drinking. Well, what's so, that's not gonna help. And I was like, come on, man, neither one of them is sins. Why didn't you say something about taking drugs and then getting drunk? That would have been a clearer message. But they went and smoking and drinking and gambling was the one. That's they pre-program. I'm like,
look,
come on.
and you know what? I don't even fault a church.
I do all three. I smoke the dough.
I'm not gonna fault no leader.
I play football
because that could be an issue in their congregation, and it's they got a lot of people who handle things unhealthy in an unhealthy way. So I totally get it, but I'm certainly not looking to join no congregation like that. I want to join people who have healthy understandings about these things. They're not talking about overdoing it and being drunk, of course, and all just carrying on crazy, but they also know just what you said, James, that it ain't a sin, and it's too many responsible people out here that name the name of Jesus for me to be like, I don't have to, because I've gotten to this point where I've seen it, and I've seen it out here. Another thing I like churches who serve real wine for communion. I love that as a
Yeah.
I was grown when I first experienced that. And I've been in church all my life. And it was 2 years ago, I think, when I first experienced that. I was like, because I've always started in my head, when Jesus broke bread and he passed the cup, it was wine. And he said, do this, this in remembrance of me. Now I understand in all cultures, kids are not drinking and we don't want to be passing out wine to children. So I get it. So, and I believe that's one of the reasons he let Welch's come into existence. He allowed that business to come into existence because he know we was going to need an alternative for
you be passing that cup like he said, though? We all sipping out that same cup?
If it was a small gathering, I might.
You've been somewhere where they do it like that?
I might do. No, I haven't experienced
that. We all got a friend that'll have that one cup and they be up there sipping off that one cup and then wiping it real quick with some towel.
Yeah,
and I put the finger up and got up out of that joint. Yeah, that's my cue.
If it was 12 of us, I would be like, okay, it's official. I might risk it with 12. Because that's how Jesus did it. But when 50 and 60 people on the cup now, I ain't trying to get sick, bro. We know too much about germs right about now. I ain't trying to get sick.
Hey, we've been to too many men's meetings when niggas start talking about it. We got some freaky No.
Nope.
That was a trip, though, having wine at church with the cracker. I was like, that was officially what he did. I was like, oh, okay. That was kind of cool. That was a cool experience. But I think one of the things that helped, because I'm in that scenario, is that I'm at a healthy church by the grace of God. And healthy leaders can point you to another healthy church. Like you say, 9 Marks is dope, James. I think that's a great resource. That's why, in part, it exists to help you just discern what is a healthy church and how to find you one.
And what's not is dope too. These are the things that you really need. So if you need music in a diverse way, that's fine. You can pick the music, the worship style that you like. Or if you like preaching styles in a certain way, you can pick the preaching styles you like. But these things right here are deal breakers. You should not be okay with the spot if they can't, check some of these regular boxes. Like, who is your pastor accountable to? It should be 2 or 3 dudes, even if it's just Like I don't really recommend churches that don't have like a staff of elders. But if I did, because and don't nothing say you have to have a staff. But if it was one dude, who does this one dude answer to? If he's the top of his food chain, that can turn ugly. I mean, are there 5 deacons or 3 other brothers or somebody?
Yeah, I'm not into dudes
You know
being
what I mean?
food chain. That's just I don't know. I've just never been into that. I've always seen that as problematic.
So like Bookie, it's like about 5 dudes that run your ministry. It feel like it's in our church. It feel like it's about 7 dudes that run it, and you could add 7 more deacons to that conversation if you wanted to. So it's like, hey, ain't nobody about to be just sleeping around with everybody, stealing the money, touching the kids, and that stuff. Like we hear a new headline about that every other day. So somebody who doesn't have to answer to anybody is a super red flag. It's not a deal breaker for in the scriptures to me, but it's as close to a deal breaker as you can get.
And I ain't doing no holiness churches no more. I ain't doing no holiness churches, dog. They got
too extra. They too extra for you,
man. I'm not doing that.
Y'all seen your man telling you can't have beards, no facial hair? Y'all see the dude yelling about the facial hair?
Dude, I'm
right. Like, y'all look just like the world. You seen the dude? He was like, y'all look just like the world. Got all this facial hair.
Nigga, we like Moses. Shut up, nigga. That's what I would have said. Nigga, we look like John the Baptist, nigga, in the wilderness. That's what we look like. You think John didn't have no beard? He eating locusts and honey every day, wearing camel hair. You think that dude didn't have no beard? Nigga,
he shaved every day. He shaved every day.
And looked like
to be holy.
Get out of here, bro.
It's so weird.
Beards God given, bro. Shut up.
Your wife can't wear no jeans. Your wife can't wear no pants, no jeans, none of that stuff. I ain't got time.
Now
wear a hat every Sunday.
Now, culturally, I understand if we was back in the time when women weren't wearing pants.
Yeah.
It was a new thing and it was just being introduced. If you go in a time machine, I totally understand that. But now, please,
2024, you telling me
here,
you got to wear a hat to church and she can't wear no jeans, no pants, period. Even
holiness is still right, Bookie. Holiness is still right.
I'm like, nah, I can't do the holiness rules, dog.
Like, but them extra rules.
I got chains and earrings on, bro. I would be cast to hell.
Most definitely not.
Walking the holiness church.
Yeah, I was gonna say you being too nice to him too, Jay. When you was talking about the cats talking about smoking and drinking, like there's nothing that says that that's wrong. You can't misrepresent God like that. You can have a preference, but you cannot misrepresent God like that during your sermon. That's not okay.
And
that's not okay.
It says a lot, just like being in a congregation where nobody is hiding at. Like for where my boys are at right now in Georgia, they go to a men's meeting. They go over the word. And afterwards, nigga, they may have a drink and a stogie, and that's a regular program because it's a part of the culture there. And it's not like my thing is like when that's kind of like part of the culture, nobody has to feel like they have to hide or they can't be themselves. What it's doing is propelling people to most likely be themselves, more closer to who they are in real fellowship versus having to go somewhere else and do that. Now, I'm not saying that that's a deal breaker because you're right, James. You hit it. It's a preference thing, but it's really what I've learned is it's really about the leadership of the church. If the leadership says okay, these things that are not sinful, but still commonly people can they want to put them over there in the sin category. And if they're okay with them, then it's going to trickle down. But if the elders up there is like, no, that's not what we do, it's not going to trickle down. It's just going to be.
Show me the chapter and verse, man. Where's the chapter and verse for that?
I don't even want to like. If I'm
owe me that.
I don't even want to go that route. You know what I'm saying? What you be like? Nah, you said it. If you decide to have a glass of wine, you drink a glass, or you having a stogie and some scotch. Oh no, we don't do that here. I'm like, all right, the conversation over with me. All right,
brother, you lost it.
With you.
And it's not that I own a liquor store or a cigar lounge. It's just like I know that it's more to that going on, and that's just not healthy.
And
If
it's
you
not
getting
like
that
I do
wrong,
it every day.
I'm
You know what I'm
nervous.
saying?
Yes.
What'd you say, Boogie?
I might have 4 cigars the whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I don't want to be feeling a certain type of way. If you come over, we have a family function, you come over. Now I can't have a cigar with my boys, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't have a glass of wine or a little scotch with my cigar because you know what I'm saying? Like now I gotta sit in the back of the church and you know what I'm saying?
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I'm supposed to be able to trust you with this book. And if you can't get this book right on stuff like that, let's keep it pushing. Because what you're saying is nice, Boogie. You being real nice. You like, hey, I want to be able to, enjoy myself. But the bottom line about picking a church is I should be able to trust you with my walk. And if you can get something silly like that wrong, I'm nervous about what else you're gonna get wrong. And I don't necessarily trust you at that point. Like we didn't have people that told us, man, I don't even want to get into it. We done had some people tell us some stuff that was just wild.
My thing is
wild.
My thing is like, bruh,
like they was in your bedroom. Put it like that. They was in your marriage bedroom.
My thing is
you can only do this. You can only do that with your spouse. Like, fam, what? Show me that scripture. Where is that at?
That's too far. And my thing is that church is mostly, if you're doing it right, it's mostly active, and you're gonna spend most of your time with people outside of Sunday. If you're doing it right, you're gonna spend time. You're gonna do life on life with people, and if you can't enjoy like a drink, or you can't enjoy a stogie because this is who you are, and this is what you have chosen to do. Again, it's a preference thing, and if that is your preference and you can't do that around people who name the Lord, that to me is like it's a big challenge, because you're gonna have to, in a sense, hide a part of who you are with those, to just be around those people. And I don't believe that that's a healthy way of doing church. I'm not saying that you need to be smoking and drinking with everybody, but it's just, you hit it on the head right there, Bookie, when you said, now I invite you over to a family function. And that's typically a time where I would probably be doing something like that. It's the weekend, I'm off, you over, we chilling, we having a meal. So whatever your regular program is, whether it's just a beer or whatever, you should be able to do that with your people responsibly. You should be able to do that, because if not, let's say it both ways, flip it both ways. If you thinking to yourself, well, man, I'm finna get towed down and I can't get towed down around them, then you got a problem that you need to be checking. But we're saying, and then you flip it the other way. It's like this person believes it is a sin, and now it's like, okay, every time they come around, and it's because of what's being taught at the church. Every time they come around, now I have to hide it. Now I don't necessarily want to get towed down, but now I have to hide it. And I'm like, both of those to me is unhealthy.
Yeah. Jay, you said something earlier, Jay. You said something that really resonates with me. It's like, if you've got that perspective on that, what else do you have? Some weird unbiblical, and call it what it is. Yeah. What other unbiblical error do you plan on teaching me and my family? Because think about it. I'm bringing my family there. If I'm evangelizing my classmates, my teammates, my coworkers, my family, I'm bringing them there. I don't want to be embarrassed by something I got to explain on the way home. Like, hey, he said I couldn't have braids. I can't braid my hair. Is that in the Bible? Now I got to explain that to somebody. I'm trying to get them in the faith, and we talking about braids.
Yep.
You feel me? Like, that's the type of stuff that's just unbiblical. It's not preference anymore. You're held to a higher standard as the leadership than just to put your preferences on a level of sin or not sin. You don't get to do that.
No karaoke parties, because you listen to that sinful R&B. No karaoke parties.
I mean,
playing that sinful music.
If that's I think that's really important, because I try not to play, when I do the karaoke joints, I ask everybody, yo, keep it classy. I try to say it like that. I always say it, I'll be announcing, hey, if you got a song you want to play, go on YouTube, find it, and come do your thing. And then, yo, let's keep it classy. Let's keep it classy. What am I saying? Don't bring some song that's celebrating sin up here. We got kids here. Usually it's kids at the party. And like the one I did this week, it wasn't at my house, it was at a venue, but it was all like really nice, respectable people. And nobody wanted to do any foul, nasty, wild songs. So I didn't have to bring that up. You know what I mean? It's 1,000 songs we can do that are fun, that don't have nothing to do with celebrating sin. So you don't even hardly have to say that most of the time, Bookie. Most people know we not about to do the Meg Thee Stallion. We're not doing WAP. WAP is on YouTube if you want to do that karaoke, but I'm gonna ask you not to do it because it's like, yo.
But you got churches that's like, if it ain't Mahalia Jackson, nobody like it's sinful, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, R&B is sinful. You know what I'm saying?
Is this wrong? Y'all tell me, help me out. I want those churches to die, yo. Is that bad?
They are.
Tell me.
They are.
I'm not saying I'm right, Jay. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just being honest.
Nah, I'm not for those. And I tell people, if I hear that you going through stuff like that, I will tell a person in a heartbeat to get away from that. Like, because I don't want to see people being tortured and stressed out about minor things about the Bible. Like, because I know with God, there is so much liberty and freedom that you have, and people putting extra burdens on you. That's what the Pharisees and Sadducees used to have a problem with, putting these extra little fences and extra things on people that have you worried about all this other stuff that in the end is making a certain group, feel superior to others because they tell themselves that they're following all these extra rules, and you can't follow these extra rules because you sinful. You ain't close. You ain't as close to God because you see. That's why you gotta smoke. You ain't gotta smoke. You ain't gotta drink. If you got close to the Spirit, you just be filled with the Spirit. You don't need to. And it's like, let me tell you something. You never gonna bamboozle me with this, and this is the main reason why you're not gonna bamboozle me with this stuff, because all this stuff that you're talking about, the creator of that book who talked about in that book has made all of this stuff. And what you got to learn how to do is be responsible with this stuff and use this stuff how he intended it to do. You ain't gonna never get me on the drinking, because you'll say in one breath Jesus ain't never sinned, but yet we find him in scriptures drinking. So we already know that just cancels out. That must not be sinful to actually do that. So you're going to miss me with that. The Bible tells us stay away from being drunk, and being drunk is, and if you've lived long enough, you know exactly what that is. And a person can't function. They need help to get to the car. They shouldn't be driving and all that in that condition. We're not talking about
that. We know
and
that.
everybody who drinks don't take it to that
right,
point.
Right.
Again, so I'm focused on the people who know how to handle it, know how to, give thanks with. Man, I give thanks with God for drinks. I can give thanks to God for a nice stogie. I can give thanks, to God just like over a good meal. The Bible tells me in all this stuff, give thanks. And I know I haven't lost the fact that whether it's sex with my wife, what have you, it's all stuff God created and said he was good. And if you do it in the right way, you can really be enjoying your life and not be listening to these people who
I'm with you. I just don't think those people are representing the actual God that exists. That's what makes me really upset about it. It's not like smoking and drinking who cares? That's not important. Like, they right when they say you don't have to have that. We don't have to have that. That's true. But add the other 12 things that come along with that same worldview, that same philosophy. Like, you have to dress a certain way on Sunday, and then you have to talk a certain way, and then you have to act a certain way. And it's like, you add all that up, and I just become like,
I believe that, James, it puts you in a mind. It puts you in a mind state where you're just looking and monitoring all this stuff of people and yourself or whatever, and it puts you in this little fake prison where you just sitting around monitoring people and how far they went and and you looking at yourself and I'm not that good or whatever, and you how can somebody like that look at somebody who was just strange in the beginning, who just came to God? How do they bring that person into their flock? If you sitting around thinking about all the 2008 rules that you would have put on yourself and others, and here's this person who just the word of God has been opened up to them, and their heart has been opened up to it, and they just want to know, but they may have just finished being gangbanging and got tats all on their face, and still drink or whatever. How are you gonna bring that person in and show grace and love when all you got is 10,000 rules for them?
That's what I was saying, Bookie, when you was talking about the theatrics. Like, that's cool that that's your preference, but I don't give Mike Todd a hard time about the theatrics. I give him a hard time because he can't explain the Trinity. Why can't you explain the Trinity if you're a pastor? And then he comes around later on and says, I don't really like studying for my sermons. I kind of hate it. I don't really like getting these sermons together. As a matter of fact, I got a team of people putting my sermon. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You're not a leader. You're not leadership quality if you're not doing the things that leadership is supposed to do. So maybe he's like the creative brain or the CEO of the vision of the ministry, but he should not be like the lead pastor with that type of a philosophy. I'm not tripping off the Easter program, or I think he had a Cybertruck recently. Like, that stuff ain't, like, Bookie's like, that's a deal breaker for him. That's fine. But I'm not picking fights over no theatrics during the sermon. If the structure of the discipleship is dope, he doing better than 90% of the churches in America from what the stats show. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what their discipleship is like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, can we find out what is their discipleship like? Because that's the 6.5 days of their ministry. Yeah. This little 3 hours where they spent, with the boat and the water and all of that, that's a little much, but that's not the deal breaker. The deal breaker is, are these people going to be Christ-like when they finish going through the culture of your church every week for, months and months? It don't feel like it. I'm not trying to defend Mike Todd, but what I mean. Like,
I know what you're saying.
I would much rather see some of that stuff. Like, okay, Mike, that's a little much. But then when the rest of the day, the rest of the 6.5 days, like the discipleship structure might be super fly and really effective. I don't think people are giving some of these ministries, not his in particular, but some of these ministries need to be like, what does your church do the other 6.5 days? Don't just criticize what he does on Sunday. Yeah. What are y'all doing the rest of the week? Because that's really what the rest of the Sunday's dope, but that's really what the make or break of your church is probably going to be. It's not just Sunday. I hope it ain't just Sunday.
No, that's real.
So those are some of the Bookie. You was laughing when I said I want some of them churches to go, man. Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing.
I don't want the people to die. I just want the worldview to just get rejected.
I understand what you said, and I mean, it's not good for a healthy body. You know what I'm saying? The churches you was described is not good for a healthy body, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just used to like doing life with people. You know what I'm saying? And just I'm all about realness, and what I'm saying, keeping it 100 with each other. Like we said, you should be able, if you have your circle at the church, you should be able to talk to them about, whatever's going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? And let's not act like we all perfect because we Christians. You know what I'm saying? We not. We all got issues. You know what I'm saying?
And sharing those issues and being transparent helps other people come in and be themselves and feel like they can rely on you because you were honest about your stuff. Now I can be honest about my stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be comfortable if everybody is acting like they don't have any problem. I'm telling you, every time I've seen that, and there's maybe a little small group at church, and everybody too clean, transparency don't happen. It takes a while, but God, you keep living. God will fix that thing where it's gonna come out, and either we're gonna deal with it in a real way and help and be understanding because we know what God has brought us through and the things that we have dealt with. And now here it is. We got another brother who's going through the same thing that you were doing. Are you going to be transparent to help him understand that? look, we all are in this together. Are you gonna sit in front like you ain't never did nothing wrong and everything that you did was 40, 50 years ago? And that's not gonna be helpful, man. I've already locked in and said, dude, I'm gonna be, as long as I'm a churchman, I'm up in somebody's church, that I was going to be able to tell, and I wasn't always like this, but be able to tell, the things that I've gone through comfortably, because I know it's somebody in the future that needs to hear this, that is going through this stuff. And not to kind of come off like some motivational speaker who got all the right answers and all that, because that ain't Bible. It ain't what's going on. It's like, I'm gonna sit, and I always say this, I'm gonna sit and open up a Bible and I'm gonna read about all these people mess and be encouraged, but I'm not gonna turn around and do the same thing in my generation to be able to share my mess. James, that's one thing I like about James, because James had never had no problem talking about his mess and how he just, by the grace of God, God has kept things together. Bookie the same way. We're not trying to make ourselves look like some kind of heroes. I'm hoping I'm relatable by telling you, nigga, I'm really bad at this. I'm not a expert. I know the internet is full of experts, and there is a lot of. That's not to say that you can't be a great teacher, an expository person, or a person who just takes scripture, encourages the body. You can do all of those things, but if you can't share your losses in the past and how you missed the mark, I'm talking about in a very genuine way, at this point, I'm like, you suspect to me, bro.
Hey man, you being real nice about it, but our heroes don't talk any other way. Like when you listen to Paul talk and some of them stuff in Romans, it's one part where he sounds so conflicted. He's like, it's me, but it's not me. Like I want to do right, but I feel this gravitational pull towards something else. Like that's how our heroes talk. So anybody else not talking like that?
I'm supposed to be the. I didn't figured it out.
No, dog. Anybody not talking like them? My fault. Say that again.
No, I was just saying. So I'm supposed to be better than Paul. So I figured it out. What he couldn't figure out back then. Oh yeah, I figured it. It's there for all generations, because we're probably gonna find ourselves in these situations just like them, and that's what it's there for. So you can look at that and be like, oh, I'm in great company. I'm conflicted like that too. And now it's not a strange thing, and things are just, no, this is a part of the walk. This is a part of your sin nature pulling on you like that. And you're not going crazy. Paul wasn't going crazy. He was just dealing with how things are. And it's helpful. I can sleep at night. I can be like, I'm in good company, because it's wild, So
Jay, what you looking for? You the one on a church search. What you looking for that you maybe weren't gonna be looking for 5 years ago? I got you with the preferences, liberty. What else you really looking for?
It's just the same, the same things that we've already discussed. I'm a part of a healthy church, so I know what the healthiness looks for. I look for, elders who, of course, expository preaching and teaching is like big for me, because that, I think, is just it's not that topical preaching is something wrong with it. It's not. But people who are committed to unleashing God's word verse by verse and going through a whole book, verse by verse, tells me a lot. It tells me, one, that usually these people are relying on scripture to guide their church, and this is why that they teach it. And two, they want you to know it too. They don't want to be the masters of the word, and you guys just have to come listen to them because they're the special enlightened ones, and you guys will never be on this level. No, it's for you to know the same thing too. And that's been the protocol since the beginning of the church. So that's a big one: expository preaching and teaching. And then I do look for transparency. I'm not on a big hunt, only because our elders had pointed out a church in our area that we moved to, and we have friends that already are members there. Now, what's so cool is we can look around. This is one technology is at your advantage. When Bookie said like, "Yo, you want to date the church you want to see." Well, I'm first looking at what's being said across the pulpit. Well, that's easy done in our technical times, where we can just tap into your church's website and hear a sermon. So I don't have to waste my time and go there if you saying something crazy over the pulpit. Now, if I hear coolness on the pulpit, okay, you pass stage one, then I can go and see how the people are. But I'm very keen on the community of people. Bookie, what you were saying I think it's very key, is connect with some people that you really can relate to, whoever it is, whether it's multicultural. I'm with that. I connect in those environments. Cool, then go to that. Or you like, oh, I want to see more people who look like me there. That's fine. Just be honest with yourself and go there where you can be open and transparent and feel at home, whatever that environment is for you. Because that's, to me, that's second. Because like you said, Boogie, we're gonna be a family. We're gonna lock in after a while, and we're just gonna be spending a lot of time with each other, and our kids gonna be spending a lot of time with each other. And so you want to pick that kind of group, and just know it's gonna take time. That you're not gonna feel that family feeling overnight. So I know, but in my case particularly, like I said, I'm leaning towards a church already where there's people there. And then what was so cool, because when I was last there in Georgia and kicking it, my boy had an event where he had a lot of people from the church over. They did a Friendsgiving, and they had a lot of people that were from the church there. So I got to see a lot of people there, and I was like, oh yeah, I could see myself in the mix. And yes, we were drinking and having stogies that took me over the top. I was like, oh yeah.
Hey, that brings up another one that I've been hearing people talk about. Like, there's some people I know that are looking for a church in our area in LA. And one of the things that they said is important is when they come to a spot, whatever that spot is, if it feels like there's room for new people, that's something to keep in mind. Like, if there's energy in the room where it feels like, yeah, you come in here, you can be a part of this. It won't take you 5 years to break through and be part of the family. It won't take. It's room. We can take on some more new people. We can take on some more different opinions and different ideas, different backgrounds. You don't need to be like us. You don't need to be related to us. You don't need to look like us.
Yeah.
All you need to do is want this same Jesus to be pleased that we want. And come on, if you want to stick around, come on. It should feel like, what I'm saying is, you should, when you go to a church, it should feel like it's room for me and mine. Because not every place feels like that.
No, you're right.
Y'all notice that?
And that's just think that could just be the people who they're not real inviting. That's all. That could be just not being inviting, or just some families that have been there for a long time and they feel all locked up. Yeah, I can see that. But I just thank God for the network of people of God that I know and that have spread out throughout the country that's doing good. I was able to, at one point, because we knew solid people had left CFBC and they went to Alabama, and then I had a friend up in Lee, California, and moved to Alabama, and I was able to be like, yo, you need to go over there and check it out. And he actually did, and was very happy and pleased, and I praise the Lord, just to be a part of that. But it was just cool because that was early on. This was like almost 10 years ago. But it is good to just have access to these things. I don't take it for granted that there's people that I can just pick up the phone and be like, who over there and who over there, and this person I know moved over here and there, and know people that are close to these areas, or they know somebody who is solid in that area. So once you get into a solid circle, thank God for it and utilize it as much as possible, because it has made things. I'm glad I'm moving into an area and I'm not blindly having to just go all around and find, because no matter where you move to, just starting blindly and not knowing anything, I could see all the challenges, with that. And then feeling burnt out, if you went to several places and you I ain't gonna say that. That's my wife standing back over there looking crazy, looking like a ghost or something.
Come to bed. She giving me the come to bed look.
I mean, it might be that time, but it was getting close to that time anyway. But but I was just saying that I'm just thankful that we do have a circle of solid people where I didn't have to start from scratch, knowing how challenging that could be. And so I don't know. I'm just thankful because I was hearing like in Georgia, like they ain't got a lot of churches. Like I was watching not a lot of solid churches that people like about now. That was the Perry's commentary. I've been watching a lot of them. Jackie and Preston Perry was just saying that who live in Atlanta, and that was their take. They was like, man, it ain't a lot of solid places out here. And I was like, dang.
It's this one dude I came across that I've been watching. I think his name Pastor Philip or something like that.
Yeah,
Black
Philip
dude.
Mitchell. That's where the Perrys go. 2819. They go to that church.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, I like him.
He's dope.
Yeah.
And I think it's solid, but this ain't no shade.
He get a little reckless, Jay.
Nah, wifey. If I'm fully transparent, she went just what I was saying. Like you go, you got the ability to go and listen to a sermon, and she went and listened to some sermon. She was like, nah, and she was really thinking about it because her apologetic group, they recommended it too, but they also recommended the church that we're thinking about as well. They were on the list. It was like 4 churches that her group was like, yo.
He get in the zone, Bookie, and he get a little reckless with his words a little bit. He done had to apologize about 2 or 3 times this year. Like, I'm sorry, y'all.
I like the passion.
I can get out of pocket. Yeah.
I like the passion.
I love that. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's our time, fellas. We at that 2-hour mark anyway. We be doing the most. But it's most definitely been a good time. And with our tradition, we do have to end like we began.
Run the toast, baby.
Run the toast.
You too far away from home to blow up that bridge, boy. She gave you that eye. You better.
No blowing up the bridge.
Blowing up the bridge on vacation.
Nah, she was like, because I'm down. I'm below. I think some kids here at my sister-in-law's house. They're like, don't be getting so loud. And I be having a good time, but it comes to an end every week. And here we are. But as the toast goes, is we all fall, but we say don't trip. We all been called, but all stall a bit. We all stand tall until that time we slip. Just admit, without the grace of God, I'm
really bad at this.
Good night, fellas.
Nice.
All right.